Hey guys, how's it going? Dom here. So today we're going to go over looking at some metrics. Right now, you probably know that as marketers, we are absolute metrics geeks, right? We can nerd out on hundreds of metrics, but we know that you probably aren't. So we're going to narrow in, focus on 5 key marketing metrics that can help skyrocket your practice's growth, right? We're going to keep it very simple. We're going to look at what are those metrics, what do they mean, how to calculate them, why they even matter, and most importantly, how to improve them. So without further ado, let's jump right into the first one, which is, drumroll, net new patients, right? So net new patients represents your total patient growth at the end of the month or the end of the quarter. Now it's really simple to calculate this. All you do is look at how many new patients, how many reactivated patients did you get, and then minus how many lost or inactive patients that you got. Right now, overarching, what you want to see is just a positive trend. There's no exact numbers, every practice is different, but you do want to see a positive trend, of course. Now this number, this metric, net new patients, is the best overarching indicator of your practice growth. Right now, a lot of offices are just looking at how many new patients did we get, right? They're not looking at how many lost. And really, you could be getting 50 new patients a month, but if you're losing 60 that are going inactive or lost, you're really at a net, of minus 10, right? So if you are in a situation like that, there's a few things you can do to improve it. So one is reactivation campaigns, right? So this might be treatment acceptance, where you're reactivating people with unaccepted treatment plans, or getting hygiene patients back on the schedule. Another way is long-term nurture, right? And that can be done through email. It can be done through organic social media, where you're just staying top of mind with your patient base so that less of them kind of slide to the inactive slot. Now, if you're more focused on, you want to get, more of that dark blue, right? Then you want to go with a new patient generation campaign, right? And that can be on Facebook, on Google, anything where you're kind of paying to play and you can really hammer on those new patients. Right, so the next marketing metric to look at is your conversion rate. So what this represents is how many of your website visitors, when someone goes to your website, how many of them actually turn into leads, which can be phone calls, appointments, or any kind of filling out of the form, right? Now, the way that you calculate that is pretty simple. You just look at the total amount of leads you got, divide that by the total amount of website visitors you got, times that by 100, and it will give you your conversion rate percentage. Now, a standard kind of benchmark for conversion rate is about 5 to 8%, which means out of every 100 people that's going to look at your website, at least 5 are going to take the action that you want them to take. Right? Now, this metric is very important because it's the best overarching metric of your entire website performance. Right? You can be looking at a lot of things, your keywords, your rankings, your traffic, your impressions, all those new page views, but ultimately your conversion rate is the best metric to see, is our website performing or is it not? And it's, one example to highlight the importance is, imagine you're spending $10,000 a month on Google Ads to drive traffic, but you look and your conversion rate is only 2%. Right? Now imagine if you were to take that 10,000 and instead of putting it on ads, you put it on a new website and content, so that your website now went from a 2% conversion rate to a 5% conversion rate. Now when you're spending 10,000 a month on ads, that spend is going to go more than twice as far, right? Because now more than twice of those people are taking the action you want from them. Right, so it's really a metric to look at how well is your website, performing, and how to drive your marketing decisions. So if you do have a low conversion rate, there's a few ways to improve it. You could look at better photo and video content, right? Because people buy from those who they know, like, and trust. They want to see your face. They want to see the personality of the office. Another way is stronger messaging. Instead of having blocks and blocks and blocks of text about you that no one's going to read, having really strong headlines that resonates with your target audience, What are their pain points? What are their desires? What's the things that they want, right? And really aligning that to your services. And of course, having a cleaner design and stronger call to actions also goes a long way when improving conversion rate. Now let's look at our third metric, which is cost per lead. Now this number represents how much does it cost us to generate one of those leads, phone calls, appointments, or phone requests, right? And this is typically used for pay-per-click, but of course it can also be used for, organic. So how do you calculate it? You simply look at your total ad spend, or how much you're spending to generate those leads, then how many leads you actually got divided by how many leads you got, boom, your cost per lead. Very simple metric. Now, kind of a wide benchmark would be about $40 to $80 per lead. If you're within that range, you're probably safe. It depends on which services you're offering, but that's kind of a good starting point when you're looking at that. Now, this number cost per lead is the best overarching indicator of how well your advertising is performing, or your top of funnel. So just like the conversion rate's the best overarching metric for your website performance, this is the best overarching for your top of funnel ads performance, right? Because again, there can be a lot of metrics you're looking at, your cost per click, your how many impressions, how many click-through rate. But ultimately, you can see how all of that's doing just by looking at this one metric. How much does it cost you to generate a lead? Because you could be getting as many clicks as you want, but if they're not turning into leads, they're no good, right? So a few ways to improve this if your cost per lead isn't what you want. You can start with getting a stronger offer, right? Can you do a zero down financing plan, or a fixed amount off, or some way of hooking their attention to get them to become a lead? Can you improve your ad copy, your ad creative, right? Better targeting. Are you targeting the right audience? Are you using the right keywords to attract attention? And of course, once you get that attention, get that click, is your landing page converting high enough, right? Does it have enough social proof? Does it have strong enough messaging? That's similar to conversion rate. So that's cost per lead, a very important metric for the advertising side. Now we're going to look at the next metric, cost per acquisition, right? And this represents how much does it cost us to generate one new patient or close treatment. So just like cost per lead is how much does it cost us to generate a lead, this metric is saying how much does it cost us to turn that lead into a new patient, right? So the way you calculate that is similar. You look at your total ad spend, divide that by your total number of new patients. So if your ad spend was $5,000 and you got 5 new patients, your cost per acquisition is $1,000. Now, what that number should be varies a lot, right? It can be from $200 to $2,000 because you might be focused on, a simple new patient offer, $99 cleaning, or it could be something really high ticket, right? Like all on fours or dental implants, which is going to have a higher CPA, right? So this really tells us how well are we doing on our middle or bottom of funnel, right? Just like cost per lead is how well are we doing on our top of funnel, this is how well are we doing with getting them to book their appointments, show to their appointments, and once we get them in the office, how's the office experience? And once we get them in the chair, how well are we doing at closing them? So all of those kind of metrics are encapsulated by looking at this one number CPA. So we'll be able to tell really quick if one of our processes is broken, right? Now, if one of our processes is broken, there's a few things to look at immediately, right? We could try implementing an online booking system or using it better if we have one. Better appointment follow-up, right? When one of those leads come in, are we calling them right away, asking the right questions, helping to nurture them? Are we doing automated nurture, right? Through SMS and email and increasing the amount of touch points before they get to the office, right? And when they do get to the office, what's the experience like? What's the case presentation like when the doctor or the treatment coordinator gets them in the chair, right? And here we have the final metric, the big daddy metric, which is return on investment, which you really don't need to be a marketing person at all to understand it. Really, you're just looking at how much revenue are we earning in relation to our marketing spend, right? Specifically for revenue that we earned through our marketing leads, right? So how to calculate it, okay, how much revenue did we generate through our marketing leads, right? All those new patients, how much was their treatment value, and then divide that by your total marketing spend, right? Times that number by 100 and you get your return on investment percentage, right? So what's a good number for that? We like to use the number 3 to 1 or 300%, or you spend $1, you get $3 back. Really, you should be shooting for 5 to 1, 10 to 1, even 15 to 1. But 3 to 1 is a good baseline just to know, hey, at least I'm spending and getting something back. I'm not losing money on this, right? If you're under that, if you're 2 to 1, you're probably losing money on it, right? So that's where you want to be, at least a 3 to 1, but really shooting for 5 to 1. And this metric is kind of the best overarching benchmark for how well is your marketing campaigns doing as a whole. And really every office should know this number, instead of just kind of spraying and praying, spending money on marketing and hoping that it works out, right? And so how to improve it? Really improving this metric is, first you have to learn it, you have to track it, right? So getting your proper tracking from the top of the funnel to the bottom of the funnel is the most important factor. Then you'll get more visibility about what's going on, what's going wrong, what's going right. And when you know that, then you can pivot strategies and make decisions based off of real metrics, right? To get the numbers where you want them to go. And that's basically the main thought with this. And it's just to be able to tell how well in a snapshot is my marketing working, right? So those are the 5 marketing metrics. I hope I was able to keep them relatively simple. I know a lot of people, their brains blow up when it comes to numbers, but I hope that was pretty straightforward. If you have any questions, we are available. We're around, so you can email us, ask, and just let us know. So yeah, have a great rest of your day. Peace.